Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday, one and all. Welcome to Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday, one and all. What a beautiful day. What a happy day just to be. Let's see. I am going to put that up. Okay. I know you guys can hear me, so that's cool. And anyway, I know you all are in a good mood. I certainly am because of that little news that just creeped out yesterday about a polo match. Now, as far as I can tell, that is going to happen at 6 p.m. today. So that's 7 p.m. my time. I would imagine this because it's going to be kind of hot and where they're playing the polo. Well, I'm sorry. Let me let me do this because y'all may not know what I'm talking about. So let me take that away and put that up. There we go. Yes, Prince Harry is back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again. Isn't that a song? Anyway, yeah, Harry's back in the saddle again with his real brother, Nacho Figueres. Yeah, that's his real brother. Not that poser, not that arrogant wannabe, but his real brother in so many ways that you can't even calculate. Just from the look at Harry's face, I mean, it's like when I look at Harry's eyes, I'm thinking to myself the disbelief that I'm no longer in Narnia and I'm actually playing polo with my real brother, right? So that's what I'm seeing there. And if you're going to play polo, you want to play with the internationally, uh, how did they call him? The David Beckham of polo, the Michael Jordan of polo, the Serena Williams of polo, of course. We're talking about Nacho Figueres. So if you are going to spend your time out there holding your own, that's who you want to play with. So hip hip hooray. Maybe you guys have seen my latest food truck video. Maybe y'all seen my latest food truck video. I can't say yet. My benchmark for the food truck video is under 6K. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to go on and on and on about my food truck video mishap because I'm pretty sure you all have had your feel of it, but I am watching you all when I say food truck video. Yes, yes, Church Nelly, the food truck video. We're still talking about that. Um Hello, Susie Q. Hello, Susie Q. You know about my food truck incident, right? Food truck gate. Yeah. You know about the food. And Sherry Ware knows about the food truck gate. You all know. You all know. Um Let's see. Yes, in due time, while Harry is playing around, playing polo, Will and Kate lost half the Commonwealth. Yes, and I'm going to make sure that I point that out. But thank you for the super sticker, and thank you so much for the reminder. What? What? Wait. Huh? Yes. Look who's back. Look who's back. So Anna, there was much debate about what could have possibly have happened to you yesterday. And I thought somehow I had opened up some type of vortex or some other realm because I keep saying Narnia, and I thought for sure that I had cast you into like some void somewhere, the dark side of the moon, or we actually thought that you might have ended up in Montecito. I just pictured like uh little Archie come running in the house. Papa, there's a lady out there on the lawn. What? Only for them to discover that somehow you had been propelled into another like dimension in time and space, and you found your way to the Sussexes. And I was even betting that you were having dinner with Harry and Meghan and the kids, and um and Doria. And my wild imagination said, you know what? Okay, you were at LAX, right? So that proves my theory. You were at LAX because you had to get back home to wherever you actually live. See, when I pushed that star, somehow you wound up with the Sussexes. And so I'm thinking, well, before I went to bed last night, I'm just like, you know what? I bet you Meghan and Harry are going on a date night, and that Doria is probably playing bingo with Doris somewhere. So, Anna Espinosa is probably watching the kids or something so that the Sussexes could have a play date and grandma could go out with Anthony Anderson's mom, Doris Anderson. So I had this whole thing made up in my mind of what must have happened to you when I hit that star. So if you say you were at LAX, that really confirms my theory that somehow I projected you into another situation. So um you're welcome. You are welcome. See what happens when I start fooling around with those buttons I don't recognize? And what's also kind of odd? I still don't know what the star is for. But I tell you what, I'm not going to mess with it. Last time, the whole world was upside down, so I'm just not even going to mess with it. Ah, see there? Oh, you were having a play date of a different sort, I imagine. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, we're glad you're back, and look at what has happened. Somehow, Anna Espinosa has become a moderator. Have you all noticed that? So, welcome the new member of the Mod Squad, Anna Espinosa. So, you guys be careful because there is a new sheriff in town, and I hear that she's quite cozy with the Sussexes. So just be careful, you guys. There's a new sheriff in town. But plus, I wanted to make sure that just in case something did go wrong, I could bring you back from Narnia or wherever you were. Okay, so that being said, I did make a video, but we're going to talk about it a little bit here. So take a look there on the left side. It says May 1st, 6 p.m. for the fabulous evening to support Polo, right? May 1st, 2022, 6 p.m. Oh wow, that's small. Can I see that? Polo something. Is that Santa Barbara Training Center. Okay, I think that's the Polo Training Center, Santa Barbara, fifth annual charity event. So, how it started, in case you don't know, if you look at the tweet up there on the upper right, it says there's a story floating around that Harry has joined the Santa Barbara um, Polo and Racket Club to play with Nacho, and so he's got a polo match okay, whatever it says behind that watermark. Any truth to this rumor? So obviously there was some truth to it because if you look at the lineup there, the team Los Pedros, um, that is the team name because according to Nacho, the name is in reference to a local state park or whatever. Yeah, it's a park nearby. I think it's a state park, and and of course, Los Pedros. I think that means lost fathers. Does it? Los Pedros. I think it means lost fathers. Anyway, so I guess it's like some acknowledgement of fathers who have been lost. Help me out with my Spanish if I got that right. And also, you can see the other team members mentioned there: Juan Guerrero and Kiko Magrini. And then there's that to be announced. Yeah, there's a to be announced. And so, with that to be announced, that lets you know that whoever this person is, oh, it means the fathers. Thank you, Tamiko. Thank you so much. So, that is the forest of the fathers. Thank you, the fathers. Okay, thank you so much for that. My Spanish is not as impressive as my French, as you guys know. Um, yeah, and please don't embarrass me by making me speak my very fluent French because um, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. Just ask Charlotte B. She'll tell you my French is something to behold. So let's see. Beverly McCaskill, good Sunday afternoon, evening, morning to all beautiful squatties around the world. Have been listening for a few seconds and glad to have Anna Espinosa back. Yes, me too. Oh, Marcia Delvies, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happiest of Sundays to you. May 1st. May 1st. Isn't this May Day? When is May Day? Is May 1st May Day? I think it is May Day. I'm gonna look at the calendar. Uh I guess not. Oh, and Cinco de Mayo is the 5th. Cinco de Mayo is the 5th. Okay. So yeah, I don't think it is a holiday. When is May Day? There is a May Day though. Okay, anyway, I won't go on about that, but wow, can you believe April was so full? April was so full. It's hard to believe how much was crammed into the month of April, only for us to have an exciting beginning to the month of May. So it is going to be a busy time for all things Harry and Meghan, I promise. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. Thank you for being a member, and thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex. You could be anywhere on Sunday, and right now you're here with us, and I am so appreciative of that. Thank you ever so much. Let me see. Las Pedras means the fathers, and it's pronounced with the short sound on the A. Pedras. Padres. Los Padres? Is that okay? But anyway, thank you so much. You guys have been very helpful. May Day is May 2nd. Oh, okay. Okay, because when I looked at the calendar, it says um what is that? Ida Fair? Ida oh gosh, I can't see it. Never mind. I don't care what it say. I don't care what it say. I can't see it. Uh, you guys have been telling me to get my glasses, get my glasses. It is time for me to get my eyes checked, though. And a few other things I need to do as an aging, yeah, as an aging baby boomer. There's some other things that I'm supposed to do according to the calendar. Oh, V Thomas wants to say hello. Hi, V Thomas. Everyone, V Thomas is saying hi to a bunch of you all. And oh, thank you, Ruth C. Super sticker. Happy Sunday to you. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Now, is it true you guys have a bank holiday coming up? We never use those terms bank holiday, but for us, when it's like a government holiday, it's observed on a Monday, which is a 3-day weekend for us. But I don't think we have one right now. But if you all do have one over there in the UK, which is I think where you're from, I'm happy for you. This is a good time to have it. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Thank you again for the super stickers, everyone. And thank you, Sean, for the super chat. So I don't know what happened to Nacho's head. And the thing with the heart, I think is absolutely adorable. But the thing with the heart is absolutely adorable. But what happened to his head? Why does he have that gigantic mother of all bandages on his head? I mean, the bandage is huge, and I can't imagine what could have possibly have happened. I'm sure it has nothing to do with those sticks with those little wooden things on the end of it that looks like a chisel or a stake. I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that he's standing up there with that big gigantic bandage on his head. But we'll find out. I'm sure he's okay. I mean, they wouldn't let anything happen to Ralph Lauren Polo international model, that's for sure. But he is the embodiment of Ralph Lauren Polo. But yeah, I mean, really good guy. Who does not love Nacho? Do you guys remember when he was on Oprah and he kissed her hand? And Oprah was just like all blushing and everything, and all like, oh. But yeah, he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show at one time, and Oprah stuck her hand out for something, and it's just like he just kissed her hand, and then she said, "Oh, okay," and I forgot what she said, but then he did it again. So yeah, he's I can see why he's got 4 kids. That's all I'll say is I can see why he has 4 kids. Okay, Harry is grinning. So he is the one who popped his I didn't think about that. So he's the one that popped his brother in the head, huh? Carolyn Minter. Oh man, that is funny. I didn't think about that. I just thought they were glad to be back on the polo field. But that makes a lot of sense. That yeah, because if I notice, Nacho does not appear to be grinning. The other two look like they're trying to stop laughing. And then Harry's got that big cheeky grin on his face. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it looks like yeah, kind of like one of those sounds. Okay, so Beverly McCaskill says, "Oh, okay, that's for Black Queen. I don't, but I do believe that they both are listening and getting a lot of rest. Oh, Miss S and I keep forgetting who else had just had surgery or was under the weather or whatever. But oh my goodness, Miss S, if you are listening, we have been praying for you, and we hope you are better soon. Yep, we hope you are better soon. Nacho is a type of friend we all should be and have. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, You know, and I'll tell you a little side story about friendship. One of my friends that go back over 30 years, when I was traveling on that really long trip that I took to Europe, I was feeling very insecure about, what if I run out of money? So I'm so glad that I had a friend that I could trust to hold money for me just in case my spending got out of hand or something like that. And and when I was telling someone about how I planned, they said, "Well, what did you do?" And I was saying, and I had him hold the money for me, and they were like, "I don't have anybody like that in my life." And I didn't really think about how important it is to have a friend that is close enough that you can literally trust with, you know, all of all of your life like that. But yeah, I mean, it was just, in case I got stranded or whatever. So I needed that safety net just in case. So yeah, and then you could lose your cards or whatever. So at least I would have that. And fortunately, I didn't really need it, but it's good to have friends. So yeah, but Nacho and Harry, they are a celebration of friendship, an absolute celebration of friendship. And of course, as far as we're concerned, that is his only brother. Okay, hello, Baron. I'm late. My God, I have missed a lot. Oh no, you haven't missed a lot. We're getting there though, but you haven't missed a lot. Glad you're here, Faith. Glad you are here. And let's see. Uh, oh, nice, nice. You're out in the garden, huh? Good, good. I'm so flattered. I have to tell you, I am so flattered when I know that I'm keeping people company. You have no idea. You have no idea. And sometimes I listen to other squatties so that I can have someone keep me company. And so that's when you guys see me like say hi or make a comment in another channel. I Number one, I don't like to be a distraction on someone else's channel, and number two, sometimes I'm doing some chores or whatever, and I want someone to keep me company, so I just listen and so if I don't say hi back to you, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that whatever I was doing, I made a comment and I got back to work, and I'm letting other people keep me company. So that's great. Very, very flattering for me to hear that. Um, oh, let's see here. My favorite was Reverend Jesse Jackson. I held my hand out to shake his, and he raised it to his lips for a soft kiss. Nice, Pamela. Very nice. Okay, you guys, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, before I get too far behind. So there you have a sprawling image of the Polo Club right there on the ocean front. What a great place to play polo. Of course, there is a little highway in between, and then there are some private homes there. And it seems like the Polo Club may be elevated just enough where you can actually have a view of the ocean, which is incredible. So that is really nice. What a life they live out there in California. And there's some images of Prince Harry uh, playing polo. Let's see if I have that. Um, I'm going to share this with you right now. I noticed this is why you gotta love Prince Harry. You just have to love Prince Harry. I noticed that he has this thing that he does when he's really in the mood, when he's really having a great day. I think that the joy you can just is palpable, his joy. Listen to the very beginning of this. Okay.
Go, go, go.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Ha ha! That aha gets me every time. I love that. The whole aha. That gets me every time. I could just imagine that as a kid, Harry was probably making that same sound when he's out there being athletic and everything. That gets me every time. That gets me every time I hear it. Ha ha! Which is the same thing that happened when he was shaking hands with those kids and he actually got an electric shock, a static shock from that kid's hand, and he let out that big ha ha. So cool. So cool to hear him do that again. So that is the second time that I heard the ha ha, but I am going to be listening out for it in the future, I can assure you. And I will make sure that somehow I am able to share that with you whenever I can. Oh yeah, you can see a close up of the bandage. And yeah, Nacho doesn't seem very pleased, but but Harry doesn't seem to be able to contain himself. Um, but yeah, that is very cool. Don't forget, you guys, there's a new sheriff in town. Anna Espinoza has come back from that void from seeing the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. She's back, and she is the new sheriff in town. So you guys be on your best behavior because she's not having it. Oh yeah, this is so cool. Now that photo right there is from 2016. That one is from 2016. But yeah, it must be really cool to and the way that 1,000 pound horse turning on a dime, 1,000 pound horse turning on a dime, and you're holding that little stick with that I don't know what you call it, little whatever the you call the wooden part at the end, but you're holding that thing and you're going 30 miles an hour and you're pivoting and turning and trying to outdo your opponent. That is incredible. It must take a lot of discipline to make that happen. Okay, so let's get back over here and I will stop that one. Okay, back over here. And next. So Cooper Sparks created this last night, which I thought was a lot of fun. I bet if we keep calling Nacho Harry's brother, William will also get a brother. And of course, you can see William's brother down there on the lower right. Yes, as a consolation prize, he gets to keep the evil Santa to himself. So thank you for that, Cooper Sparks. All right. And then right here. So this is when things take a very weird turn. We're not really going to have a change of gears here, but let's do it anyway. So, Chris, I am Soraya. I'm not sure what that means, but beware of a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Thought the name sound familiar. So, the person who wrote the story here, when I first saw this, I wasn't sure exactly what I was looking at. And then when I read the article there on the left and I saw who wrote the article, then it started making a lot of sense to me. And you know, it's a good day when I can put two and two together. Oh, that's a good day. Oh, that's a powerful day when it all makes sense to me. But I digress. I digress. But yeah, so let me read this first. Donna Black, I love to read your comments. Some of the derangers are accusing Prince Harry of what is that, equine abuse, because there was a gray horse he rode once and the horse seemed to be bleeding from the, is that the whip, bleeding from the whip. I saw that picture, Donna. I did see that picture. And let me just say this. Harry was a teenager, I believe, in that photo. He was a teenager. And there are so many different ways that a horse may have been injured on the polo field. There are so many different ways, including your opponent trying to ruin your game. So I wouldn't even make an assumption about that. I don't know the whole story, but I did see the photo. But there are so many ways that any athlete can be injured playing polo. Let me show you a case in point. I'll show you right here. You see that? See Nacho's head? There are so many ways that someone can be injured on the polo field, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I did see the photo, and of course, the derangers would make an accusation like that. And thanks for sharing that, Donna Black, because where there are the Sussexes, there are derangers, which is why this stuck out. So let me read that very small print there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it easy on myself. I do have a screenshot, so I'll bring that up so I can see it clearly. Just in case you guys can't, I will bring up the screenshot. Oh, that is very baby boomer friendly size. I can see that. So, beware of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Thought the name sound familiar. Well, Carolyn Faraday, back on July the 30th, 2019. I don't agree with the trolling of Meghan Markle, she said. However, I would like her to do the work of the royal and not just take the perks. Vogue is not a magazine of the people. Royalty is a dedication to public service, not the public serving them. So that's what Caroline Faraday said. And so Chris was very quick to snap back with dedication to public service, not the public. Look at you letting your idiocy fly free. Funny how you don't think tangible proof of helping people from marginalized groups, unemployed, Greenfield, Tower, and sex workers as public service. How do you think HRH should serve the public? Oh, great whiteness. Oh, great whiteness. Okay. So at this time, obviously, this was the time when the Duchess of Sussex was the guest editor of Vogue magazine, right? And so when Carolyn Faraday was saying that thing about the Sussexes or the Duchess of Sussex as an HRH, her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, when she was saying those things about public service, obviously, she thought that somehow the Duchess of Sussex was getting too many perks. In other words, I'm just going to say it. I think the idea for a lot of people in the UK, not necessarily Carolyn Faraday, but for a lot of people, especially in particular, white people and some people of color that seem to have a problem with the Duchess of Sussex being in that family as though she was there just to grab the perks. I think that was the tone of the I don't agree with the trolling, but I think that was the tone of it. However, I'm not going to put words in her mouth because it's obvious what her intent was, but I'm sure she would beg to differ now, especially since she's writing stories for what is it? KCLU? Is that a television, radio station, whatever it is? Since she's writing stories in California, since she herself may be living a California life, all of a sudden, I'm sure her tone would have changed where the Sussexes are concerned. And I didn't show the images of it, but yes, Church Nelly, old great whiteness. Um, I didn't show the images of it, but if I recall, Princess Anne, this is from the images I saw yesterday. Princess Anne has been on the cover of British Vogue, as well as Duchess Doolittle, Jazz Hands. She had a cover. Princess Diana had a cover. and I can't remember who else had a cover. And the only cover that the Duchess of Sussex had, she was showcasing other women, which I believe was the most uh didn't it sell out? That was the most popular issue of Vogue magazine. And not just because the squatties were buying it, but I'm sure the friends and families of the women that were showcased bought it. Any woman who helps empower other women were fascinated with that particular magazine, which the cover featured a square mirror within all the other images so that you yourself can look at the cover of the magazine and see yourself as someone worthy of empowerment. That was the Duchess of Sussex's Vogue issue. But Caroline Faraday, and of course, because of the leaks, remember there were leaks from inside the house, with all those leaks and everything, by the time the magazine came out, there was like this fever pitch of criticism. So I'm assuming that Carolyn Faraday's issue was with Meghan Markle's editing of the Vogue magazine. This was July the 30th, 2019. So sounds like about the right time for that type of criticism. Royalty is dedication to public service, not the public serving them. Well, well, your great whiteness. That was very Karen. It on the surface it seems very very Karen. I don't know this Caroline Faraday, so I don't want to disparage her name. I don't know what's in her heart, but that does seem. Why even comment about it? That's what I'm wondering. Is why do you even have anything to say about the Duchess of Sussex? Why criticize her? Why is that so important to you? I mean, you're somebody that most of us have never heard of anyway. So why is that so important to you? But there was this nasty tone used from the and oh, let me just go on here. So take a look up there at the top. Caroline won an LA Press Club award in 2021 for use of sound. However, she started her broadcast career in the United Kingdom, working on both radio and television for the BBC. Capital FM, Sky News, was awarded the Prince Philip Medal for her service to radio and journalism. She moved to Los Angeles in 2013 and is both an American and British citizen. Caroline lives in Agora Hills with her daughter and joined the KCLU team in 2020. So, you know what? This just goes to show you something. Squatties, and thank you, Chris, for this. Squatties keep receipts. As you say, thought the name sounded familiar. So again, we don't know what's in her heart. We don't know exactly where she was coming from, but there was definitely a certain tone there which one might feel uncomfortable listening to, especially if you are a supporter of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So there you have it. Um, and that's why I said when I first read that, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. And then when I got to the bottom of the story there and I saw the name pop out, I said, oh, that's what she's talking about. So it seems like and I have to tell you, the story was very favorable for Prince Harry. It was very favorable. However, when you consider the source and when you consider the squad always keeps receipts, it's enough to make you think about who's writing the story and what their intents are, right? Their intentions, should I say. It's enough to make you think of what a person's intentions are. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. It definitely sounded Karen-esque. It definitely sounded Karen-esque, but we don't know that she's a Karen. We don't know that she's a monarchist or that she's anti-Sussex. We just know that this exchange took place, and it just seemed rather odd. Connie Palmer. Hi, Connie. Yeah, so it is what it is, you guys. But again, that is why the Sussex squad is so important. That is why the Sussex squad is so important, because even if there's nothing nefarious going on, at the very least, that people know that we are very sensitive about the language used about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. As with the idea that Harry had abused the horse. When I saw the photo, I saw this very young, blushed faced child athlete who rode a horse, who rode a horse that was injured on a polo field. Again, injuries on the polo field is not unusual. That's why they wear helmets. That's why they wear glasses. Okay? Um, it's not unusual. So who knows where the injury comes from? I mean, look at how they're riding the horses there. Who knows where it comes from? There you have it. Okay, changing gears, you guys. Changing gears. So if you look there, you can see King of PDAs, public displays of affection. And then, just so that there's no confusion, the couple down there in the middle, you can see the one wearing the white dress that was yellow on Harry and Meghan's wedding day. Now the tabloids say it's white. That Carolyn Wickstead or whatever she's wearing, that she's worn 4 or 5 times. The one that was yellow and now it's white, or it's white and now it's yellow. Anyway, you can see Harry and you can see Philippe and what's her name, Lizin, whatever, Lizzie, whatever her name is, the Queen of Spain. You can see the King and Queen of the Netherlands there. You can see the Crown Prince of Denmark, is he? And then there is Jazz Hands and Lord Baltimore. And just as if we haven't been gaslight, or is it gaslit or gaslighted enough about them, take a look at that. You do well. I don't have to tell you, but you all remember when he was cosplaying the Mitchum Roland bottle. Remember that? Remember when he was cosplaying the Mitchum Roland bottle? Well, that particular occasion, he also was considered to be quite enamored with his wife and she with him. I mean, take a look at that photo. If you all remember, the caption from that very curious photo, uh, we were supposed to have seen some like cues from their glance at one another of approval and affection and love. And do you remember that? Do y'all do you remember that? Do y'all remember when they were trying to convince us that the two Leticia, thank you so much. Uh Rositas, thank you, is Leticia. Yes, Leticia. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, we were told that that was like a very intimate moment for them. Obviously, nothing could be further from the truth. He looks like he just got through watching the Jackson 5 and he's trying to do that dance to robot, and she is cosplaying the Little House on the Prairie or something. Whatever it is, it doesn't look like any great affection. And as people have said so many times, they go through hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of the Cambridges before they are airbrushed and approved for public consumption. Yet, um, when they end up in the tabloids, in the newspapers, in the magazines. This is as close as they seem to get to one another. This is them being very, how do you say it? PDA, public displays of affection. Ooh, any more affection, and I'm liable to fall asleep. Any more affection, and she's going to have to put her winter coat on. I mean, how close are they? But according to the gaslight, they have never been closer. Um, let's see. Okay. Oh, I just saw something pop up on the wire, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Okay. What's interesting is the gaslighting the royal rotor engage in. So now the public love Camilla and the Cambridges are the perfect couple. Yeah, and Prince Charles has spent a king's ransom to portray the Duchess of Cornwall as being this very warm and friendly person that people just really need to get to know better. I think we know about as much as we need to know about her. You guys remember when Baltimore tried to court an American heiress right after the breakup with Kate, but she didn't want him. He dragged his behind back to Wadey after that. No, Persephonus, I did not see that because honestly, at the time, I didn't really follow any of their romances, and of course, Prince Harry's romances didn't really resonate until after the Duchess of Sussex was introduced to the party, and then I was like, okay, okay, now I'm interested. But before that, I didn't follow any of the relationships that either one of the brothers had. But wow, that is interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that one. Let me see. Not sure why Pearl they were thought we haven't even get a chance to view it yet. Why a show uplifting black and brown girls getting cut? Oh, okay. So you did see that, Black Queen. Yeah, that was a thing that I just saw. I wasn't sure how true it was, and when I see a headline like that pop up, I don't want to engage in until I have a chance to study it. But yeah, so apparently, since the cat's out the bag, if you will, or the pearl is out of the shell, they're saying that Netflix wants to cut Pearl from their lineup or development or whatever. So we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure where that information comes from, but again, I will take a look at it later. Oh, ooh, how close are they? I mean, lean in, why don't you? Right? If that doesn't look like love, what does? If that doesn't look like love, what else can it be? What else can it be? What else is going on here? Or am I missing something? Robert Collins says, honestly, the audacity of the royal family to think that they have a unique hold as if as if they have a trademark on public service. I think the British need to have a conversation on what public service means entails. Yes, what does it mean or entail? Exactly. Well, anything that the royals do, like they say, um, um, Afro Annie can just go on a trip, come in the front door, walk out the back door, hop back in the car, go to the helicopter, and that is considered an engagement. That's what she does for work. Oh, and she's also known to pack her own suitcase. Honestly, okay, let me see. My daughter works in animation. A lot of her friends who worked at Netflix uh, got laid off. Megan's show will need to find another production company to partner with. Carolyn Purdue, production is a rough game, as we all know, and there's a lot of things that are years in the works. A lot of things. This is should not be considered as some type of a setback. It is just a little bump in the road, and it may not amount to anything. So let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see. And Carolyn Purdue, you are. Thank you for making that comment because yeah, Netflix is having some issues right now. And as you know, anytime a company is losing money, the first thing they do is go after labor. Labor is considered to be the most controllable cost in any business. So the first thing they do is target the employees. Now, there's a couple of people I'd like to see laid off. If you guys remember this photo, I call this photo drop me off first and then take her home. Yeah. Drop me off first. Yeah. Do me a favor, mate. Drop me off and then take her home. Not that I know that to be true. I'm just saying, drop me off first. Oh, and let's not forget this a royal carol. Now, I love Ashikar. Ashikar, she appears on the Novara media. She has had her clashes with oh, Pig Morgan. And let's see, I had to close this down so I could get it out of the watermark. It says, Oprah, get Kate on the blower. Her eyes tell me she's got some stuff to say. Some stuff to say. There you go. Now, if you can, okay. Catching her eyes, Prince William look up and shared a knowing look back with his wife. A knowing look back. Oh, well. Yeah, so that is another one of those gaslight photos where we are supposed to believe that visual exchange should be confused with wedding night passion, right? That exchange should be confused as a so called passionate glance at one another. As if. Okay, so enough of the Cambridges. Breakbeat is due. There are 903 of you all in the chat. Please make sure you hit that like button. And so far, I have been on here for 52 minutes and 44 seconds, and I haven't cast anybody into oblivion. So avoid the start button. That is my thing to remember today. Okay, let me see. They want us to ignore William, isn't bothering to hide. Lately, he looks so salty. I'm sometimes sad for her. She chose that gremlin, though. So, yeah, true. So, if you take a look at the screen, you will notice that there is someone else who was so inspired by Meghan's look at the Invictus Games that she decided to go out and shop that appearance. Another person from Instagram, not me, who copied Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, beautiful Invictus Game look. Very good. I don't think she had the courage to roll up the pants, though, but still, great look, great look. Great job. And she has a Chanel bag. She has the Chanel jacket or the Chanel knockoff. I forgot what they call the jacket. The boyfriend jeans. And she's got the ballet slippers. Great, great job. And then there on the right side, you can see Harry and Meghan keep inspiring every royal family. So there's another royal woman wearing a white suit. And of course, the white suit is a symbol of empowerment for women. And then there at the bottom, you can see the Danish royal family wearing their jeans. That is the Danish royal family, right? They're wearing their jeans and their white shirts. Very casual. Très casual. I told you my French is improving. Très casual. Oui, bon nuit and très casual, monsieur. Monsieur très casual. No? Oui? Yeah, see there? I told you. Don't mess with me. My French is stunning. Most people in France were stunned by my French. They were absolutely stunned. Yes. Hello, Joan Commonwealther. Joan Commonwealther says, I have the pants and the top, and now I have to find a cheap jacket. Well, I hope it is a great look for you. I hope so. I mean, a look like that, you can't go wrong. What do they call it? Casual chic? Okay. Don't forget having the people support to serve, provide, and the finances. That's like saying you are providing free meals to the poor, but you're charging a service fee. Oh, interesting. Okay. But let me get out your business and move on. Okay. Um, oh, Belinda, I have to tell you though, I pay for maybe 5 streaming services every month. Ask me how many of them I actually watch. I think a lot of people, I don't know what the statistics are. They can use their algorithms or whatever to sort out who's doing what. Um, uh, One of the kids watch Disney, so I don't watch it. Um, and yeah, I don't watch any of that stuff, but I pay for it every month. And I've had Netflix since I think 2011, 2012, 2011, and they have gotten their money's worth out of me. That's all I could say. I have paid for at least one of their series or at least an episode of a series with what I've paid for Netflix, and I don't even watch it. So, um, yeah, but I like Netflix, and because of the connection to the Sussexes, I wasn't at all tempted to cancel it. So, if they get rid of the Sussexes, then I'm getting rid of Netflix. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all do what you want to do, but long as there's the Sussexes, there shall be a Netflix account for me. Actually, I got some other reasons why I would probably stay with Netflix that don't even have anything to do with the Sussexes. I won't say what they are right now because it is going to start a whole impassioned thing that I don't want to get involved with right now. But um, yes, I will keep my Netflix account. Okay, moving on. Let's get a breakbeat, Afro Annie. I don't know the exact origins from this. Aya, if I'm saying it right. When my son was going through a scary diagnosis, Megan is the friend who helped. She called all the people, all the places when I was too paralyzed from a plan. Um, that's another one of her gifts, making you feel like you can get through anything. Silver tree. I don't know what silver tree means, but um, yeah, I don't know exactly what the origins of it, and I tried to look through the Twitter to find it, and I couldn't. And someone in the comments for that particular tweet said that that person was speaking for someone else. So, oh, all right. So when I see Omid Scobie has posted it, then I started to believe it's more truthful. After cutbacks across the company, Netflix has canceled Archwell Productions' animated series Pearl, still in development stage. The Duchess, Meghan, and David Furnish produced show joins 2 other kids' projects shelved by the streamer this week. Eek, eek. And that story originates from Deadline. Deadline, I guess that's an online magazine. Hmm. Okay, then I guess it's true. I guess it's true. All right. God, boy, I tell you, the Daily Fail, they couldn't wait to bring that up. It's almost like Pierce Morgan setting a land speed record, isn't it? Oh well, you guys. we'll get through this. The Sussexes will get through this. The Duchess will be able to find someplace else to produce it. First Lady of the United States was emulating Meghan last night at the Correspondents' Dinner for the media. Really? I didn't notice that. Was it what she was wearing? I did not notice that. I only saw like that one time when they applauded her, but I didn't. But I think she was sitting down, so I didn't really see what she was wearing. Let me see. Teresa, Kate got what she and Carol wanted. Mean Girl is playing for her success in landing a prince. Let's see. No wonder she looked toward Harry for affection. I mean, who wouldn't? Harry is wonderful, right? Who wouldn't look toward Harry? Okay, it seems Kate is a very insecure person, especially around other beautiful and confident women. Yeah, especially if those women are able to carry a conversation. Oh, let me see. I pay, Carolyn Mentor says, I pay for 3 streaming services and don't watch much at all. I won't stop paying for Netflix. Me either. Okay, I heard about Netflix. If you give your account pinned out for someone else, you will be paying extra. Anna Espinoza, I'm paying whatever that family plan is. I think it's like 17 something a month. Whatever it is, I'm paying for the highest package of Netflix because I want my family to use it whenever they want to use it. I personally watch maybe one thing every other month, but I want them to have access to it. And I'm glad to carry Netflix. I'm glad to support those independent and little odd shows that they have on there. Netflix has some great original series and such, so I don't mind paying for it. I just don't watch it, so but I do support the art. So there you go. I am supporting the arts. Um Did you know most people in France were more stunned about more stunned about than your French? Will and Kate losing half the Commonwealth, the Queen's back. Oh man, um, it is coming though. It is coming though. I do have something to say about that. We are going to change gears a bit. Thank you for the super stick down. Okay, it's time to rush to Harrods. Q Elizabeth's Barbie doll is finally here with flowing gray hair under the tiara, half of the body removed. That's shady. Half of the mass removed, the neckline and the wrinkles smooth. Queen Elizabeth has never looked better. In Queen Elizabeth's Barbie figure, a symbol of British imperialism is fused into one of capitalism's favorite formats, a magnificent symbiosis. Well, this comes from a Swedish newspaper slash magazine, and it's about the doll. But this person really unpacked one with this one. She um, she went on to say quite a few things, including let me see. Oh yeah, you Philippa. What is that? Philippa Ronquist. Yeah, I can just barely make out her name up there, but so I had to translate that from Swedish. Let's see. Celebrate 70 years on the throne. It is to celebrate that the British Queen has sat on the throne for 70 years, that Barbie doll has been created in her honor. It was released in connection with the Queen's 96th birthday last week. Monarch Elizabeth is usually not to be trifled with. Again, this is translated from Swedish. But with the beautified copy is free. The doll is, of course, already sold out. The British royal family is certainly happy for all the attention that can be distracted from the scandals of recent years, like the Queen's. Elizabeth appeared in the Panama leaks. I think she's speaking of the Panama Papers. She had invested several million pounds in her private fortune in a tax haven. A little too stingy of the Queen, one might think, to try to avoid paying taxes. She may have temporarily forgotten that her castle and vacations are financed with tax money. I'm telling you, this Philippa. what what did she do to you, Philippa? What did she do to you? Philippa is hot. Do you hear me? She is hot. I mean, the. Now, I'm not saying I disagree with what she said. I'm just saying, Mama is hot. I didn't know the Swedes felt like that. Oh my goodness. Stingy? Who calls a person stingy? Again, this was translated from Swedish, so I don't know if the actual word is stingy, but I love it. I'm having too much fun with it right now. Let's see. Monarch Elizabeth usually not okay, I'm sorry. I saw that already. Where was I at? Okay. Yeah. Or Prince, you know who I don't like to say connection to that guy in New York that he stayed overnight with. I don't want to say that name. The financier who for many years exploited, don't want to say more about that, with the help of his that person that's in jail right now. You guys just don't understand. It's too much trouble. But she brought that up. Okay. And then let's get to the part with a little meat to it. No matter how hard the British media tried to paint Harry and Meghan as the bad guys, the world knows better. Extract from Swedish newspaper Aftonbladet, whatever however you say it. But yeah, so when I saw this post from Sandra Rapp, I wasn't sure where it came from, and so I found a link to it, and that is, oh man, woo. Okay, so this is this is the next part of it, and then we have not even mentioned the story of Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's wife. Throughout the time she was part of the British royal family, Meghan Markle had to endure aggressive attacks from a hateful British press. She became a target for the R word. The royal family does not seem to have cared, much less helped. This girl, I'm telling you, she was what do you call it? Oh, I know what you call it. I could tell you. And she was pouring some tea. She was pouring some tea. I was like, you go, girl. She was really pouring the tea. So let me see. The Queen has interfered in politics. The British monarchy still has a political position that is difficult to understand and even more difficult to justify. Queen Elizabeth has a weekly meeting with the British Prime Minister. Externally, the monarchy claims that the royal family has no influence over politics. It has turned out that this is not the case. As the British Guardian newspaper says, has revealed, the monarchy has an opportunity to influence British law. Through a private lawyer, the Queen managed the 1970s to force through a change in law which meant that her private fortune would continue to be kept secret. The lawyer argued that it would be embarrassing if the size of her fortune was discovered. Given this, it is easy to prefer the British monarchs in plastic rather than in flesh and blood. Dolls are fun to play with and do not usually get involved in politics. Woo! Lord have mercy. What did she do to you, girl? What did she do to you? That's the queen. She don't bother nobody. What an article. I don't know anything about that magazine. Of course, I've never heard of it. But given this, it's easy to prefer the British monarchs in plastic rather than flesh and blood. Dolls are fun to play with and do not usually get involved in politics. I think I'm going to have to follow her on Twitter. Oh, I am going to have to follow this girl on Twitter. Oh man, that was epic. Now, to be fair to the queen, actually I'm just going to leave it alone. Whoo! I just don't know what the girl what happened? Oh. It was as though she had a little bit of a grudge. Oh, thank you, Donna Black. I appreciate that. Let's see. Person said they would buy the dolly so that comes to the Jubilee parade. They would just throw the headless doll at the. Oh no! Oh no! The Metropolitan Police would get involved. Okay. Well, I have to say that was quite something. Well, okay. Anyway, let's change gears. I think we got the point. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, change of gear. Let's do this. A rare joint engagement for Princess Anne, patron of God knows what, midwives, and Duchess Kate, patron of something else. The pair are currently at. Well, anyway, I don't care about that. We already talked about that. But see what I mean? The contract. Notice how in that photo on the left, you get a cropped down version of Afro Annie's hair. But take a look on the right. You see that mass of Afro? That is her real hair. That's what they've been hiding from us. See how she pimping around the corner and she got that pick in her hand? That See how she tipping? That's the real Afro Annie. Don't be fooled, y'all. Don't be fooled. Um I don't know, because it was fun. I just couldn't resist. You know how I am. I saw it and I'm just like, let me fix this. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, I can fix that. I can fix it. I'll fix that. Oh man. So yeah, that is the real Afro Annie. Don't y'all be fooled by this other Annie that they try to pass off. Afro Annie with her hair pick at the ready, purse strap in a knot. That is the real Afro Annie. Okay, changing gears. Oh, not so far though. Um, but I promise you, as I have gotten to the bottom of this, I am going to figure out who mushed his hat when they went on that trip to Australia and to Papua New Guinea. I am going to find the culprit that smushed his hat and ruined his vacation. I will find out the culprit. If it's the last thing I do, I am going to find out who smushed his hat. Now, I do have one suspect, a person of interest, and that is Afro Annie herself, who claims to have packed her own suitcase. So I believe if and take a look there, the abuse, the targeting of that hat did not end in the parade. If you take a look here, the abuse of his hat continued soon thereafter. So, as I said, I am going to get to the bottom of this hat gate if it's the last thing I do. Okay, okay. Alex, where's my shirt, Beresford? GMB's Alex Beresford calls in Met Police after being targeted by those R word trolls. GMB star Alex Beresford, who clashed with Pierce Morgan, calls in the Met Police after being targeted by those trolls. So, yes, this was trending today. Turns out Alex Beresford, if you guys remember, yesterday, remember? Just yesterday, I talked about the way he was very much asking the questions about when is this abuse of the Duchess of Sussex going to end? Like right up there on the top, it says, man, are we still talking about Meghan Markle while simultaneously simultaneously uh, she is getting on simultaneously. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally blew that. While she is simultaneously, oh, let me blow that up a bit. I cannot see that. While she is simultaneously getting on with her life, in fact, most are getting on with theirs, bar a few who want to keep the narrative going, exhausting. I hope her big brother thanks her for his big brother appearance fee, right? Just yesterday, I showed that, and then the other one about Meghan Markle gone on the Ellen show, and even if she didn't say anything, they would still talk about it. So very interesting that he says that he has been abused by some elements of society who a doesn't like the fact that he looks great with his shirt off, and B, he just happens to be a person of color who helped Pierce Morgan set a land speed record when he ran out the studio that day. So see there? See how fast he's going? Pierce got those little pig knuckles all balled up and everything in case he's got to shove somebody out the way so he can get out that studio because I'm not going to take that. Remember that? He set a land speed record making fast his exit from the studio because he was so offended that somebody called him out on his obsession with the Duchess of Sussex. There he is strutting. Everything's a blur behind him. They couldn't whip the camera around fast enough as Pierce Morgan, the unlikely athlete, set a land speed record for an overpaid, overstuffed talk show host exiting a studio where he shouldn't have been in the first place, where his only claim to fame was making trouble for women of color. So there you have it. That hoghead Pierce Morgan exit the building at record speed, all because Alex Beresford said he was obsessed with the Duchess of Sussex. And so one has to imagine what life is like for Piers Morgan when he's away from the studio, when he's not getting the attention that he demands. Thanks to some squatties, I think we finally have a clear picture of what's going on at Casa de Pigheads, right? Casa de Pighead, Hoghead, Casa de Hoghead's house probably looks a lot like this. Ladies and gentlemen, Casa de Hoghead. um, let's go to the next. because believe it or not, he was overpaid so he can afford more than one room. There's another shot. Sometimes he retreats from his bedroom to the basement, where he watches Suits on an old transistor television. He has a little gas stove back there and everything because his family is just sick of him. Do you hear me? Sick! They're sick of him. And then it continues. Sometimes he'll go to his old bedroom at his mom's house, where he has managed to create another shrine to the Duchess of Sussex, where, where he can wallow in his own misery, amongst other things. Now, for some reason, he was laboring under this assumption that he was way more popular than even he considered himself to be. So, if you take a look here, um, oh, no, that's not the one I was looking for. This is, well, anyway, you can see that in his spare time, he has a lot of time to reflect on the Duchess of Sussex. Sometimes he just falls asleep anywhere. Uh, TV snubs, ITV that is, snubs to peers. Now, it was said that the Duchess of Sussex, he says the Duchess of Sussex wrote a letter and somehow he didn't have a job anymore. But didn't you set a land speed record by running out of the studio? When you ran out the studio, stupid, why did you think the job was going to stay and wait for you? What made you think that job was waiting for you after you quit? You ran out the studio. Out of all the dumb things that he's done in his life, that is probably the dumbest thing that any person on television has. He ran out of the studio. And then he had those little fat, chubby fists balled up, like he was going to have to pounce somebody to get out of there. And everybody just watched him go. Everybody just watched him go. I'm pretty sure he was mumbling, "Don't try to stop me." Nobody stopped him. He just ran out the studio. There was not a chance that anybody was going to interfere with this athlete setting the land speed record for exiting the studio. There was just no chance of it. He thought, excuse me, he thought that somebody would try to stop him and he would get a chance to take them little greasy, fat, chubby fists of his and like nudge them out the way. Not even necessary because they just stepped aside. I'm pretty sure it was like around, I don't know, maybe 4 p.m. before anybody even noticed he wasn't there. They probably thought that he was, in his I guess his dressing room sulking about it. Yeah, I forgot which one of these is his dressing room, but he was probably in his dressing room just sulking and regretting. And anyway, hogheads need not apply. Um, and then you remember Pierce Morgan rushed to hospital. Look at the tweet down there at the bottom. He was posting, hoping that his fans, would be relieved to know that he was okay. Well, it turns out that some of the emojis are laugh, some are like a thumbs up, and maybe two people were shocked. But other than that, I can't say that he really upset anybody by sending that picture. I think in London it's very typical to have street parties, right? You set up a table in the street and yeah. Yes, he's an unconventional athlete, Ethan's husband, very unconventional. I know his posture may not really lend to that of the athlete, but trust me, once that momentum gets going, I'm pretty sure he's a pretty tenacious hoghead. See there? See how that momentum is going? And then those little chubby fists help pierce the air. See, that's why they call him Piers Morgan, because those little chubby fists pierce through the air when he's upset. And oh man. So and of course, if you all remember this, it was just one thing after the other. It was just one thing after the other. It wasn't just the Duchess of Sussex, it was a trend. It was a trend with him. So Piers Morgan quits Good Morning Britain. Cheers. That was one I made myself. Cheers. Cheers. This was the face that he made when he was standing outside of his townhouse. Even though he was smiling for the cameras and everything, in an unguarded moment, he seemed to be rather down in the mouth. Yeah, he seemed to be rather down in the mouth. What I hated about that moment is that he had his daughter with him. His daughter was there with him while he is being celebrated by other members of the media for bashing women of color. Okay, so that was slide number 3. And what did I miss back here? Did I miss anything? Let me see. Oh, I think I'm done. I think I am done. So, with that, I guess I will take your comments. Yes. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, no, I'm not done yet. There we are. I knew I had more. Oh, yeah, after this. Sorry, you guys. I lost my place. There we go. So right here, if these children were strong enough to survive boarding school, oh, sorry, you guys. Yeah. I knew that seemed too fast. How did I get on that slide? If these children were strong enough to survive boarding school indoctrination, many didn't. The white children are strong enough to learn about it. And so these indigenous children, and I'm assuming that Lakota Man is speaking of the children that were part of the Canadian boarding school system. That is a scandal that a lot of people have not heard of. It is a scandal that is actually a result of empire and colonization. Now, in the past, the natives, the indigenous, I'm never sure which is politically correct. In the past, they have been okay with the royal visits. But during the Black Lives Matter and so many other things, you can see there on the left side that the symbols of monarchy, the symbols of colonization, the symbols of occupation, all of those things seem to be a bit irritating, if not offensive. And so they knocked them down. They literally took ropes and pulled them down, and I believe the one with that says Canada, I believe that is Queen Elizabeth, and the one with the orb, that is Queen Victoria. And of course, the one with the ropes on it, that is also Queen Elizabeth. So Harry, Harry had someone from one of the tribes, one of the communities, visit when he made the announcement about going to Vancouver and Whistler. And of course, then after that, we hear that Prince Charles and his emotional support, Camilla, are also going to Canada. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And if I was Charles and Camilla, I would stay away from it. But now Charles has had some successful visits with those communities in the past. Maybe he'll be okay. But I think things have changed, and I think that the values have changed. The younger generation are a bit more militant about the British royal family's involvement in these things. And of course, they may also have questions of reparations. Now, I do believe that Canada has paid some reparations to some of the native indigenous tribes before. I'm not sure, but either way, you can't really put a price on some of the pain and misery, and of course, a loss of culture that occurred because of the Canadian government, which, of course, a lot of us in the United States, we idealize Canada, not realizing that in Canada, there's just as much of the experiences up there for people of color as we've had it here in the United States and just about any place else in the world where countries were created because of colonization or the transatlantic slave trade and a few other things. So, you know, I'm going to watch. I want to watch. I am going to watch because I want to see exactly how Charles plays this. Charles is actually pretty sharp when it comes to stuff like this. As you can see, when Charles went to Barbados, was it Barbados that he went to? Um, and they had the independence. Anyway, he didn't seem to have much of a problem, but his son, that was a problem. His son had a problem. Charles, I still haven't found a photo of Charles being carried around by shirtless, sweaty native people under the hot sun as though they were some kind of gods or something. I haven't seen an image of Charles like that, but I have seen an image of the Queen, of Philip, and of course, both of the Cambridges. That I have saved on my hard drive. But those other ones, I have not seen that yet. So I'm curious to see exactly how this visit is going to go, seeing that Charles said that he was going to talk to the indigenous people. So let's watch that space, shall we? Black Queen says, oh, that's not for me. I'm going to go on then. Let me scroll down. The knowledge of what these imperialist colonial people did should be taught to their descendants into infinity. They need to humble themselves instead of thinking they can speak on POC, on people of color. Thank you, Persephone's. Well, you know what, you guys, I've been meaning to say this for a couple days. Um, I watch Pedal whenever I can. Facts and 2 cents. Pedal, I don't know why Pedal's not a lawyer. Pedal uh, talked about the oh my goodness, which country was that? Where uh uh Edwina and Ford Fiesta were sitting up there laughing and everything, and anyway, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and I meant to say something about it sooner. That's why I can't remember where they were. But Pedal was on the case. I mean, Pedal was in rare form, should I say? It was the type of speech that would have made a cop cry. I was just like, Pedal, you get him, because she was prosecuting the case. And I tell you, if I ever had to make a case, I want Pedal to speak for me because she was on the money. I was so impressed. I'm sure some of you all have saw it. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to remember to leave a link for it. But yeah, she was incredible. I was like, Pedal, that was impressive. So yeah, she gets very passionate about those things, especially when it comes to the Caribbean. So I tell you, having Pedal as a squatty and also just someone who has certain feelings about those topics, she's a force to be reckoned with. Let me see. They should drop what is that? PM in Texas, where here's bounty for wild. I've seen them hunt those wild hogs. But just remember, he's capable of setting a land speed record. It'd be tough to catch him. It would be very tough. I mean, he could outrun a train if he had to. Okay, let me see. Okay. Um, they actually stole children of color from their families and tried to make them more European. The movie Rabbit Fences tells about Australia. Yeah, in Australia, they set up those what do you call it? The boarding schools. They had that in Canada where they take the native children away from their families and or indigenous children, take them away from their families and forbid them to speak their native language, forbid them to use any of the customs. I mean, if you don't speak English, you are literally beaten. And some kids never make it back home. And then, as with the Canadian community, I saw where some of the kids were taken. And when you come back to the community, you're still a child, but you are ostracized because suddenly, because of your European ways and European language, now you are a stranger to the community. That is absolutely heartbreaking. Um, I believe it was uh, Bishop Desmond Tutu who said it best. Desmond Tutu say that when the white people came, we had the land and they had the Bible. And they told us, they say, let us pray. And we closed our eyes. And when we opened up our eyes, they had the land and we had the Bible. Bishop Desmond Tutu had no filter at a certain point. He just didn't care. He just told it the way it was. Colonization was something that every continent seems to have experienced, save for the Antarctic, but it's been everywhere, and the result of it is a lot of communities, a lot of countries, people that have been perpetually um, uneducated and poor. In the wake of it, uneducated and poor, but they are always careful to establish an elite class so that they'll have somebody to help them govern and rule over those who were not able to quote unquote make it or establish themselves in the greater community or the wealthy community. So that is so commonplace. But yeah, I would did you say it was rabbit fences? I am going to check that out. Rabbit fences. Yeah, I got to see that. Thank you. Okay, now I'm just hearing of more funerals with the remains getting restored. Is still the descendants paying for restitution? Was that restituting the remains, which is disgusting. So when they do discover the remains, are we speaking of Canada where the families actually have to, you know, pay to have their loved ones buried properly or in a, is that what you're speaking of? Okay. All right. Oh boy, a lot of comments. A lot of comments. Well, as I said, we're going to watch that and see what happens. I doubt if Charles is going to have the same disaster that William faced because Charles is not arrogant enough to think that he can be an obvious know-it-all and not let anybody instruct him about things, whereas William believes that he was born gifted and brilliant and all those other things. William is the very height of arrogance. Charles, at least, has learned a thing or two over the years. And William's not a young man anymore. That's what's so interesting is that William is not a child anymore. He's what, 40 years old or he's turning 40? That he shouldn't need to be taught these things. But anyway, let's change gears. Remember, watch that. And so they are, father and son, the future and the future. Um, Jamaica spent in excess of 8 million on recent royal visit. I'm still trying to figure out how they spent so much money. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but $8 million? $8 million? Is that how much it costs? Is that the price? Is that the price? $8 million. That is amazing. I could think of so many things that you could do with $8 million in Jamaica. So many things. So many people who can benefit from $8 million. So that is very, very shocking. I saw that and I'm just like, I'm trying to put that together in my head. How could it have cost so much? And these countries are the ones that pay for it. The royal family or the British government, um, of course, the British government shouldn't pay for it because there's people over there that are in dire need of support. But the idea that Jamaica paid that much money for a royal visit, that's why something like they have to stop these things. I said before they went, I said they'll probably cancel. I mean, there's the war and I think Russia had just invaded Ukraine, amongst other things. Probably not a good idea. But of course, they probably had other people that said the same thing, and nobody listened. And then, of course, there's that very uncomfortable moment when you have to tell your granny that you just lost half the Commonwealth. No sound. No sound. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I don't know what the last thing you heard was, but anyway, I forgot which squad he posted this. How did I do that? Um, I'm sorry, Church Nelly. That was actually me that time. It's been so infrequent these days that I forget to unmute myself. But when I do, thank you for trying to help out anyway. So, no, the royal family will never rest easy while Prince Harry remains financially independent, happily married family man. With no real accomplishments, Prince William can only be seen as aspirational if his brother is made to seem less than. Family Man was supposed to be Prince William's narrative. Dependent bachelor, unhappily married was supposed to be Prince Harry's reality. Now, I'm so sorry I forgot which squatty posted this, but I did save it because I thought it was very cool. But yeah, that was supposed to be the narrative, is that Prince Harry would be sad and unhappy, and that he would just go through life with no real purpose or anything. Um that was the narrative that was assumed for Prince Harry. But life had other things planned for him. God had other plans for him. Everything changed when the Duchess of Sussex showed up. Before that, Prince Harry was just going through the motions, going along to get along. I'll never forget when Oprah asked Harry, she say, "Well, when they ask you to go someplace and you don't want to go, um, what happens?" He said, "Well, when the car pulls up, when your clothes are laid out or whatever, you just go." And that was his life. Was you just go, you just do it. And it's like anybody who has ever had a job that you've hated and you didn't feel happy, but you needed the money, you needed to provide for your family or something like that. In Harry's case, it was that obligation to his grandmother. He just went through the motions. It was never a question about whether or not to do it. He would just do. And that was that. So once he was able to find a way out of it, thanks to his mother's years of preparation, once he was able to find a way out of it, he took it. And of course, thanks to his wife, his wife, thanks to her, there were new things, there were new possibilities. Thanks to the children, having at least one child was even more encouragement to move on. So, yeah, and that's what I always considered. And I would even ask people sometimes, if you had a sibling that you didn't necessarily get along with, if you had a sibling who seems to have contempt and hatred for you, could you imagine that sibling controlling the purse strings, literally deciding when and where you could and what you could do? Um, that's a nightmare. That is the worst possible nightmare, especially considering the nature of his brother, the type of character that he has. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, let alone Prince Harry, to have to live under that type of daily scrutiny of courtiers running back and telling his brother everything you say and do. Financially, you're stuck with the sovereign grant. Could you imagine Harry being 60 years old and having to live like, oh, let me see. Can I think of someone who is still controlled by their parents or by their parent? Oh, that one right there. Yeah, that's how he lives. That's how he lives. He tried, he tried and failed to create a life for himself by hanging out with some very dodgy people, but he was a complete failure, absolute failure. He didn't get very far. I'll just say that he didn't get very far, and he certainly didn't make it to California. When he did, he stayed at somebody else's house. He tried and failed. That's all I'll say is he tried and he failed. Let's see. Let your light shine that men may say, see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven, and he will reward you openly. God did just that for Harry. Amen. Sometimes God will do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And God said, no half in, no half out. Just go. And they did. And everything worked out for the better. Let me see. 424, Harry mentioned reaching out to the indigenous tribes for permission. 426, Charles mentioned meeting with the indigenous community in Canada. 428, William in a Zoom call with indigenous in Australia. Serendipity? I don't think so. That was all deliberate, wasn't it? As soon as Harry did it, then all of a sudden here comes Charles, and there goes William. Good looking out, Robert Collins. Thank you for that. And that's in the exact order. I mean, that just feels right because I remember Charles's announcement and then, of course, William on the Zoom call. That was epic, Robert. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. The fact that they were laughing at, what is that? Imagining that he would end up at what's that? BK speaks to a lot of working class people at oh, I don't know what BK is. I'm sorry. Is it so beneath even them to applaud him for trying to stand up? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what BK is. Sometimes I'm like right on it, and then sometimes I can't sort it out. But thank you for the comment, Persephone's. Okay, why does his loved ones get him help? The man's belief in his attractiveness and popularity were both overrated. Are you speaking of William? Are you speaking of William or are you speaking of his uncle? Oh man. Excuse me. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I anyway, it's almost it's been almost 2 hours, so I'm going to move on if you guys don't mind. So here you have it. Billie Jean King, 34 years ago today, on April 30th, 1988, I had the honor of meeting Venus Williams and Serena Williams at the Domino's Pizza World Team Tennis Clinic in Long Beach. They were as impressive then as they are now. How cool is that? Billie Jean King, a legend in her own right, um, remembering the day that she met the two girls who would go on to change the world of tennis forever. The two girls who would go on to change the world of tennis forever. Look at their faces. Look at how cute they are. They are absolutely adorable. I love that photo. I love it. They got their barrettes. Okay. I love it. This is like my new favorite photo. But the fact that Billie Jean King is literally celebrating the honor of meeting these two girls 34 years ago, that she even remembers that, you know, that says a lot about the Williams sisters. So I love that. Okay. Okay. Comments, anybody? What do we got there? Okay, not much. All right, then we'll move on. Uh, yes, that's true. That is so true, Lydia. They have always been beautiful. I love that though. They are just adorable in this picture. Uh, let's see. Veronica Layton says, "Hey, Squatties and Baron, I listen to your podcast and rarely comments. You are so funny. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you. Some of these topics are pretty heavy, and sometimes our mood may be challenged because of things that have happened, especially with the Sussexes. So I use humor as a way of dealing with some otherwise painful situations. And if that helps at all anybody, I'm just so glad for that because I believe that we have to have all things in moderation, especially when you're dealing with the way the Sussexes have been treated. Some time ago, I made a video where I explained why I defend the Sussexes. And I can just simply say this: my safe space during the time of the Orange Menace was Harry and Meghan going about doing their royal duty, doing their humanitarian work, and it was like that thing that was lost when the Oprah Winfrey show was over, or when the Obamas left office and such. I didn't have that safe space anymore. People I was glad to turn on television and see them, just being. And so the Sussexes, uh, I was just like, it reassured my faith in humanity that Harry could finally find some type of happiness, true happiness, true love, true happiness. It also reassured me that someone like the Duchess of Sussex even exists. I didn't know anything about her until the announcement. And once I learned about the Duchess of Sussex, just like everybody else, I was instantly smitten. And so I'm just glad. I was thinking about that this morning. I was just glad to have a platform to be able to do something or say something that is beneficial to more than just a handful of people, several people at that. Um, and that, it helps me. It helps me to be able to have this channel to say and do certain things and have people um either like it or not like it, or at least share in it or whatever. That is something that you just cannot put a price tag on. So Royal Sussex has gotten me through some really tough times. It took a while before I could even commit to the channel, and once I did, it was like a responsibility began to grow. And to me it means a lot, and I thank you guys for making this possible, because your support, your input, your comments, the moderators and such, that's what makes this channel possible. That's what make any of the Sussex friendly platforms possible, is that we follow one another from one place to the other. We support each other. And of course, we're growing with the Sussex's commitment to make the world a better place. We're growing right along with them. And we see things through their eyes sometimes. And hopefully, likewise, they can see things through our eyes. And they know we're here. They know we're here. And I know that the Sussexes are aware of the squad. So there's no question about that. Um, but yeah, thank you for that comment, and I'm glad that you are enjoying the channel. And for anybody else who watches and never comments or anything like that, thumbs up when you can remember or able to, and also share the channel, subscribe, and whenever you feel the need, join in the conversation. We're glad to have you. And for the Derangers, I hope, I hope that you have a change of heart. I'm not holding my breath, but I hope you will have a change of heart about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and about so many other people that the Sussex squad support. Okay? I hope so. Okay, let's see. Baron, there were two African American sisters named Margaret and Matilda Romania Peters that played tennis during the 1930s and 50s. They played was too good and was denied access to the white tournaments. How come that doesn't surprise me? How come that doesn't surprise me? I'm going to have to look into that. That's very interesting. Thank you for that. Yeah, and and the people of color have been whitewashed from American history far too often. But yet, no matter what happens, our contribution as African Americans to the United States and to the world, our contribution has been immense. I didn't know that the guy that wrote The Three Musketeers was of African descent. I only just learned a few years ago. I forgot the guy's name, but there was some Russian poet, writer, novelist, poet that was so proud of his African heritage. And he was regaled as a national hero when he died. I mean, we're all over the place and we have contributed. We don't always get the respect that we deserve, but our contribution is constant. Our contribution is a constant. Let's see. Veronica Clayton, super sticker. Thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you all for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so we are at the 2 hour mark. So let me see what else I have here. Okay, so this kid right here. You guys, of course, I've had this for a couple of days and I didn't want to share it. Could you imagine why I did not want to share this story? I only just decided to share it today because there may be a few people that haven't seen her story yet. And I thought, okay, well, since it's on the other channels, since it has been tweeted by Omid Scobie, then why not share it? The reason I didn't want to share it is because I was afraid. I was absolutely afraid. Um, Pushkin, thank you. Thank you, Pushkin. Um, Dumas and Pushkin, thank you so much. I couldn't remember the names. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so I didn't want to share it because I thought that there would be some kind of backlash for the school, and even worse, a backlash toward her and her family. She is so cute, isn't she? Look at her freckles. And so I didn't want to share it because I was concerned for her safety. There's a lot of things that I may see, and I think twice about it because I don't want to ever cause any trouble for anybody just for the sake of having something to talk about or someone or something to talk about. So I am very, very cautious about that. But since it seems to be trending so many places, now I will share it. And so, yes, she took a photo with the Duchess of Sussex, and the school decided to post it on their Twitter. Sometimes people post things on the Twitter and they don't realize that the derangers are going to wreak havoc for them. And so when I saw that, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I don't think they know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they know. And so I was just like, okay, I'm not going to post it because, anyway, having said that, after a certain amount of time, then it seemed to be everywhere. So then I thought, okay, I'll share it. But yeah, I'm very cautious about that. Very, very cautious. Well, Verda Sanchez, thank you. I'm old school, okay? I'm old school. And I do believe in putting caution ahead of anything else because I can't be there to help somebody fight a battle if I don't even know that person. So it was a very tender, sweet moment, and I'm glad that I, first of all, I'm happy for this little girl. She had that experience. That must have been quite a day for her. That must have been quite a day, and the fact that she was at the Invictus Games let you know that there is a hero in her family somewhere. So, but still, I am going to defer to caution in most cases because, again, I don't want that heat for somebody I don't even know. So, further down the tweet, someone had tweeted, "Did you know Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, wrote a book in eighth grade titled A Face Without Freckles is a night without stars. She extols the wonders of freckles with drawings and verse. Megan submitted it to the Copyright Office in 1996 from the Library of Congress collection. So, someone actually, it was quite a few people that commented on the tweet. And so further down, Carla Hayden was sharing that with people. So I thought I would share that again, even though most of us squatties have heard the story. I thought I might share it again. I saw something and I wasn't sure if that was for today, but I did see that. But I didn't know if it was today or not. So, um, yeah, if you guys remember, Prince Charles fell and broke his arm, and I think from that point, I believe he stopped playing polo at that point. So, um, but I would wager you Prince Harry is a great deal more athletic than Prince Charles was. So, yeah, I hope he's okay. I pray he's okay. Okay, our Duchess is an expert on freckles. Yes, she is. Yes, The Long Ranger was based on an African American lawman. Let me see. Former slave Bass Reeves. The studio didn't want to base the show on a black man, so they had the character wear a black mask. Yeah, and of course, let's not forget the American Revolution was partially, or should I say, the Revolutionary War. There was a former slave who worked as a spy, no different from any other spy during times of war. He was a spy for the Continental Congress, the American Army, Revolutionary Army. So, I mean, if it wasn't for him, we'd all be speaking English right now. uh, did you get that one? If it wasn't for him, we'd all be speaking English. Oh man. Okay, how long do y'all expect me to say, or should I say, how long do y'all expect me to stay completely serious and not at least get one of them in there, right? Okay. Not sure y'all got that one, but okay. Moving on. Oh, that was it. Thank you, Lucy Wynn. You laugh at all my jokes. I am going to build a shrine to you later. Um, okay, you guys, let's give love to our faves. And of course, when I say that, we're just about done. And that, of course, is our Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, and our Queen of Everything, Queen Doria. And yes, I am going to change these photos at some point. I never think about it until I'm sitting at the desk and doing the live stream. And then that's what I say. Okay, I need to change those photos. I promise it is coming. I am going to change them very soon. Very, very soon, I will change these photos. Until then, love to our faves for making the Sussexes possible. Without them, there would be no Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I mean, everything from those amazing women have given them all the guidance and have equipped them for the life that they are sharing right now. And I could not be more happy for them. So, thank you, our two queens. All right, all right, all right. Let me see. Any last well, who wants the last comment of the day? We need to close this out. We need to close this out. I'm looking through my slides. I think I covered everything. Yes, everything, everything. I'll never forget that article as long as I live. You know, I saved that. I saved it. I saved it. Yes, we covered everything. I love it, Mo Shannon. Live, laugh, love. Perfection. All right. You're right, Connie. It is time for Ginger Avenger. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you for your super stickers. Thank you for trusting me. You have no idea. You have no idea how much that means to me that you guys trust me. I wouldn't care about anything else. All I want is for you guys to I guess, have that kind of trust in me, and I am not going to ever forsake that. I appreciate it. It means the world to me because when people trust you, that means that there must be something about your character that is okay. So, I work very hard for that in every aspect of my life. Okay. Let me cue Ginger Avenger. Thank you, Mo Shannon. And here we go. Oh Lord, I'm always forgetting something, Nana. By the way, you guys, I think Ivy is going to be really good today. She has something about 1,000 years of monarchy. I am going to do some things around the house here, and I'm going to listen to "Hello, Ivy" here. Um, so I can't wait for that. I think a lot of y'all have already jumped ship and gone over there, which is good. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sussex Squad Podcast UK, is that right? Am I saying it right? Anyway, please support Ivy. I'm going to put it in the link today because Ivy does an incredible, incredible job. And I love and admire her so much. And um, I think everybody should follow her channel. So I'm going to put that in the community tab so that you all can find it. I think she's extraordinary and I love her channel. I have a few of my faves, but she's my fave. So just so y'all know, she's my fave. Okay, and let me see. Oh, okay, this is what I forgot to do. I have a new. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, now somebody told me that I can share that they are a new member of the Patreon, and now I can't find the message. Oh man. Um. Hmm. So not only do I keep forgetting, now I can't find it. Oh well, I think I got that sometimers. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. Okay, but anyway, if you have just joined the Patreon, even though I can't find your name, thank you so much. I guess that ain't the okay. But anyway, I'll find it next time. But yes, yes, Lydia, I'm suffering from sometimers. Sometime I remember, sometimes I don't. Sometimers. Um oh wow. And don't even get me started with night vision. I can't if people knew what my night vision was, you would never cross the street in front of me. I'm telling you, because my night vision is not that good these days. But that is all a part of our ever going maturity. So, all right, you guys, thank you for staying at the after show. And remember, please do subscribe to Ivy. I am going to put it on. Anyway, she has something called A Thousand Years of Monarchy, and I know it is going to be off the chain. So I am going to watch that myself. Thank you ever so much. Again, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Love you all. We got to go.